My mother's Chinese, and as a kid, I looked more Asian. And I grew up with the other kids making fun of me for my Asian heritage. This caused me to be a shy kid and pretty insecure about my appearance. I was 7 years old, I was playing with my brother, and I cut my leg really severely. I could actually see the yellow fat in the bone, and it really terrified me. My mom rushed me to the doctor, and I remember being scared because I felt like everyone hated me. Why would this person help me? And he did help me. He fixed my leg, put sutures in it, and that was the moment I decided I wanted to be a doctor. So 20 years later, when I finally made it to the hospital as a third-year medical student, my features had changed so that more of my Caucasian features had come out. And when I entered this inner-city hospital where most of the staff and most of the patients were African American, I wasn't half Chinese anymore. I was white. And I experienced a different form of racism, as it were. When I was in trauma surgery, an African-American man who had been stabbed in a knife fight came in. And even though he was pretty sick, he had been stabbed many times, he was still putting up quite a fight. There was no way he was going to sign the consent form that the trauma surgeons insisted he sign so he can have emergency surgery. The trauma surgeons eventually gave up trying to get him to sign the permission form, and they said, look, he's going to die. They handed me the consent form, and they said, take him to CAT scan. So I went with him up the elevator, and I pleaded with him to sign the permission form, but he was not budging, and he would just cursed at me, and he told me that there's no way he's going to sign that effing form. I realized in that moment that the reason he wasn't signing the form was that he just didn't trust me, and he didn't trust these doctors. He had been stabbed, and he was inebriated, and these white doctors wanted him to sign a permission form for him to be cut on some more, and it wasn't a situation he was comfortable with. I understood his anger and his mistrust and his fear because as a child, I had felt the same fear myself, the same mistrust, the same anger because I perceived how people were looking at me or judging me. The same type of uncertainty that someone would not be willing to help me. And I thought about the tragedy of it all, and I thought, gosh, I came to the hospital to help people in need, and as a person who experienced racism as a child, I wanted to be in a place that was loving, where we took care of each other regardless of color of skin. And here was a man that was refusing to have care because he didn't trust me and these other doctors because of the color of the skin. So I was sad because I thought it looked like he was going to die in the next hour or so. So I wondered, how could I get this man to trust me when there's nothing about me that he would trust? And then I decided to take this approach. I said to him, sir, I'm just a medical student and I don't know anything about surgery and there's nothing I can do to save your life. But these surgeons downstairs, these are top-notch surgeons, and they say you need to have surgery, you're going to die. And to be honest with you, they gave me this permission form for you to sign. If you sign it, I'll assist with the surgery, but if you don't, and you die, I'm just going to get more sleep. I won't be helping the surgeons. This is a tactic that I would never choose or ever use again, but in the heat of the moment, I just want to establish some form of trust to save this patient's life. So he looked at me enraged, but he grabbed the permission form out of my hand, and I handed him a pen, and he signed it. And within 15 minutes, he was in the operating room, and the trauma surgeon said, how the heck did you get this expletive guy to sign the permission forms? I reluctantly told him, if you die, get more sleep. And they started laughing. And the next thing I know, he said, come over here. And he let me put the chest tube in. And he did well in surgery. And a week or two later, he would leave. And he wasn't grateful, but he left. And he was healed. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And our goal should be to strive to do our best and to be as loving to one another as we possibly can be. And this is my goal as a doctor and as a surgeon, to be that for my patients. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to my channel. You know, YouTube things.